Faith has a new frequency. The Spirit of Huntsville. KHSPLP, Huntsville, Texas. Spirit 94.3.
Hi, this is Braylon. You are listening to Feel Radio. God bless you.
Throwing it down on a Friday with surround sound. It is a smooth morning.
Hey, remember when you were younger and like your favorite show would come on and it would be like, in stereo, we're available.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As a kid, I couldn't figure out what that meant. In stereo, we're available. I mean, I get it now, but back when I was 7 or 8, that was just...
It was like...
I blamed it on us living in the country is why my show didn't come in stereo.
It was our family growing up. Our parents in Technicolor.
Yeah.
Yeah. What happened to the good old...
Maybe I didn't get in stereo because it was a black and white 13-inch Sony television.
Yeah, the two knobs, the UHF,
yeah,
VHF.
Man, you put it on the U and it spin that bottom one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you could tune. There was like another little knob that you could fine tune that sucker. Yeah.
You better fine tune it. Well, we want to fine tune some of y'all this morning. That's why we do this show. So good morning. Welcome into another edition of Good Morning Huntsville as we get rocking and rolling here on a faithful Friday. Underwriting support brought to you in part by Elliott's Jewelers online at elliotsjewelers.com. And also this show made possible in part by Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, located here in Huntsville off Normal Park Drive. Billy Cauthen hanging out with us on his quote, unquote, day off.
Day off, yeah.
Welcome in, buddy.
Yeah.
Hey.
So what do you do on your day off? Well, I still take care of my responsibilities for the funeral home.
Hey, I wanted to give you a thank you for your friendship because you had told me a couple weeks ago, and by the way, good to see you. Sorry about last week. We had a spa day. Bridget won an award from Creekside, and so we were, and that spa day for her was not relaxing for me.
You did it wrong.
Whenever you get a massage, they ask you, do you want it like soft, medium, or do you want deep tissue? Well, I know not to say deep tissue.
Medium. Always go with medium.
Well, I went with medium, and my shoulders are still hurting. Here we are a week later. That lady, dug into it. And Bridget said, well, you're supposed to say something.
Did you hear about my last one?
No, I want to hear about it.
This is great.
Is that what messed up your shoulder?
I wish. There's somebody to sue. No, I had this surgery or whatever, and there was like a tendon in my neck that was real, tight and tough. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'll go down and get me a little old massage, which I've done before numerous times. Won't be nothing to it, So I slide on down there, and I get the same little old lady who's, 103, 104, something like that, little Asian lady.
Is this by the Grand Buffet?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You got to run in that place real fast, and nobody sees you going in there.
Yeah.
But no, I go in there, and I get the same little old, I think her name's Lisa, and she's great, but she doesn't really speak English, and she's got a translator on her phone. So if you try to tell her something, she'll stop you and she'll hold her phone up, and you talk, and then it tells her what you said,
Like
and then she'll tell the phone something, and then it'll type it out, and she'll show you. Well, every other time I've been there, she's working on your back or whatever, and then she'll say something, and then she comes back with these hot stones. And she takes those hot stones and, boy, she rubs them on your back, like she's shuffling dominoes or whatever. Oh, God, it feels great.
She's playing 42 in
Something
your
back there, chicken foot, I don't know, speed, I don't. But anywho, so she leaves, and I'm like, all right, she's going to come back with those hot stones. Well, I hear her, because, your face is down in that little thing, and I hear her, the little clink, 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 like the rocks or whatever. Well, next thing I know, she's slapping these vice grips or something on my back, and it is hurting like the dickens, man. And I realize that it's those suction cups.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, man.
Okay.
And woo, son, they got a bite to them. And
did she tell you that this was going to happen, or
she said some words, but she said them in her language. So I, honest to God, I thought she was getting them hot stones, which is fine, but not the suction cups. Well, she puts the suction cups on, and after a couple minutes, I guess you get used to the pain, and then she takes them off. I'm like, oh, that's cool.
Didn't do anything for you, did it?
Oh, it did something for me. It screwed me up. Let me tell you, the story gets better. So finally, I'm done with my massage, and she leaves, and I go to put my shoes on or whatever, and I realize because she put the suction cups all over my back and then one on each arm on my muscle. And I look over and I got this big old round dot, like a bruise on each arm. And then it hits me. What does your back look like? I look like one of them turtles off Mario Brother, you know? And we were going on a cruise the next week, going on my vacation, and I planned on living in that hot tub. I didn't get to do all that because I looked like I had leprosy or something. And those bruises, they're pretty much gone now, but that was a month ago.
What's the point of those cups?
I don't
Pain?
know, but hey, in her defense, she put one right there where my neck was tight, and it fixed it. So, yeah.
I just had a visual.
You know, you go in there for wellness, and you come out looking like you got an uncurable disease or something.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I just.
Like I got in a fight with a shop vac.
You ever picture things with your eyes open? Somehow you can do that. I don't do it often, but I just pictured something while you were talking with my eyes open. I could see it. And it was Jacqueline, like late one night with you, and y'all are on the bed, and she's got a plunger, and you're like, yeah, right there. And she's just plunging your neck, trying to make that happen.
No, it gets even better. Greg, you know, because I wear short sleeve shirts, so Greg sees those bruises. He's walking around showing everybody, look at what he did, look at it, look at like I was his kid or something, and I had gotten torn up on the playground, you know, and just, yeah, so insult to injury over and over.
There's a lot of people joining this morning on the social media. And by the way, if you know the purpose of those suction cups, like the actual, Kyle would know. He's our official researcher.
I figured they were for getting splinters out or something.
Yeah, if you know the official use of what those are for, I would like to know, because I have no clue what they do other than inflict pain. Because everyone that I've talked to said that.
And I guess tell me how to say suction cup in Chinese or something. That way I can tell her I don't want that ever again.
Like, no.
Well,
hey, we do want to welcome everybody in. Our first segment is always on Spirit 94.3, and we appreciate everybody joining. We are reaching people across this community and literally across the globe through the Spirit 94.3 app. I want to welcome all of you that are joining us. And do us a favor, if you are on the FM this morning, let us know that you're out there. We always love to hear from you. You can text us at 936-339-0139. Again, that number is 936-339-0139. You can also email us victory@spiritradio.fm. And I do want to give this out, Billy, because we do like to receive physical mail. And there are folks who are listening this morning behind prison walls that we always encourage. Hey, if folks have a prayer request or a need, I know you can't text or you can't call, but you can always write us a letter. And we'd love to hear from all of you this morning. That correspondence address, write this down, 1363 Elkins Lake. It's 1363 Elkins Lake. That goes to a P.O. box. Again, 1363 Elkins Lake, Huntsville, Texas, 77340.
You probably shouldn't have done that.
Well, so
because now you're going to get every political advertisement known to man. You're going to get 1,800 postcards a day.
I empty that thing out every day.
God almighty.
Yeah, tis the season.
You know how I'm going to start voting? I'm going to start voting for who doesn't send me political advertisements. Yeah.
Your choices are limited.
Yeah,
man.
I'll be very limited.
Hey, it is a faithful...
Matter of fact, I think I got one for a guy running for dog catcher.
Yeah. Well, it is Faithful Friday here on Good Morning Huntsville. We always want to encourage you and lift you up a little bit. Billy hanging out with us this morning. Billy always lifts us up with his encouraging stories about what not to do whenever you go into
full of them.
Yeah, quite a bit of them. But Billy, you know, we were joking earlier. I know, quote unquote, a day off for you, but you got a lot going on. I know, heading down to Houston today, and let's talk about this for a brief moment. What should a day off be like? Because I don't know what a day off really should look like. What would a day off to you what should it look like? What would be a Billy Cauthen official day off?
Well, I want to know how you're going to ask me a question I can't answer. I don't know, because I've never... Wow, that's a good question. I don't... Because I've never just taken a day off. I've always had to take a day off to do something else. So...
I've been told a lot of here, especially working in ministry.
That's why I'm so skinny, because of the stress.
Yeah, it sucks it out of you. Yeah, I've been told a lot, especially working in here at First for the last 3 years, and our staff always says, Jason and Linda, they would say you need to take some time off. And I was talking to a guy in a parking lot about that yesterday, And
As you were beating him up, or
no, but here's the deal, man. Like for me, yeah, I want to be with my family. I want to be with my children, my wife. That's a huge priority. Should be everyone's priority to be with their family, over everything else. But for me, man, I just don't like to, if let's say that the kids and Bridget were gone, I don't want to just sit at home. I've always got to be doing something. I was talking to a guy about this yesterday, and he goes, well, you need some time off. And I was kind of joking. I said, well, it's biblical to be busy. He goes, why? I said, the idle mind's the devil's playground, man. I said, I've got to stay busy because if I'm not doing something, you know what I do? I fall asleep. If I'm not doing if I go to a movie, and we haven't been to a movie in years. And one of the reasons I enjoy movies, but I don't go, is because every time I go to a movie halfway through, I don't care how exciting it is, I'll fall asleep at the theater.
because you got still.
Every single time. Mm-hmm. There's been times after this show, and maybe there's a little bit of a lull for 30. I'm waiting on a meeting or I'm doing something. I just want to take a break. I've sat in this chair and put my head down on this table, and I've dozed off and didn't even realize it. And so I just like to, I don't know, man. I just like to stay busy and keep doing stuff. I don't like to be at home unless my children and wife are there. I just like to be active. And so on a day like today where you don't have funeral home duties, I mean, still something could call, but does it feel like you're off though when you're doing other things?
No, because I just thought I need to run up there and do something. So, yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, before we go, I know you got to get down to Houston here in a little bit. We wanted to have a quick extended discussion this morning. I want to get the James Cauthen update. How's he doing? I heard some great news on the EMT side of things.
Yeah, he passed all that.
So how's he been, man?
Good. Working on that Class B driver's license now, which that is a joke in itself.
What all does that entail?
Well, he's went and taken the written portion of the test and passed that. Now he needs to do the driving portion of the test. So we've been practicing. We go to the fire station and we take a tanker and we drive it in the district. And he's great, man. He's got that sucker whooped out, no problem whatsoever. It's scheduling the driving test. When I did my driving test, I did it in Huntsville, Texas. Well, Huntsville, which I feel is a major shipping hub in itself, they don't do commercial driver's license stuff in Huntsville. We have to go to Livingston.
Is this like the DMV office?
Yeah.
They're the ones that do this?
Mm-hmm. So we have to go to Livingston, or we have to go to Bryan is pretty much, where we could reasonably drive a fire truck to, take it out of service for a little bit. But scheduling the test is just ridiculous. I mean, it's months out to get a road test. And he's not getting a full commercial driver's license. This is just to drive the fire truck. And it's like pulling teeth. So you have to go online and schedule. So he goes online and schedules, and the closest one we can find is in Houston. So let's take it. That's next Friday that we're doing that, I believe. So let's secure that one until we find something closer. Well, these turkeys have figured out a way to lock you in. You can't look for closer appointments or times or dates or anything as long as you have that one scheduled. You'll have to cancel that one in order to go look. Well, guess what happens when you cancel that one? Someone else is going to take it. So you're just pushing yourself further and further and further out. The kid just needs a road test. He's got it.
So the Class B, you said, is like for the driving fire trucks, right?
Yeah.
So what is there a core? I mean, do they get in an actual fire truck
Yes.
to do this? And there's I would assume a course.
It's the
and all
same
those
thing
kind of
like
things?
when you got your driver's license. There's just a little route they take you on to make sure you could turn and stop and park and all that stuff.
See, I wonder if the laws or the rules have changed about how driver's ed works, because my dad taught me. He bought the book, and back then the parents could teach you. And I'm wondering if that's still a deal. I said, Dad, I want you to teach me. And I thought it was going to be easy with Dad.
No.
Man, my dad was tough. He made me watch videos that the DMV puts out that young people should not be watching.
Red asphalt.
Yes. Like I'm telling you, like stuff that like, and my dad told me, he's like, you're going to watch this, son. He goes, here's what happens if you're on that phone when you're driving. And here's what happens if you ever decide you're going to, which you better not ever do it, but if you decide you're going to drink and get in that car and like there was some videos that I said, man, my dad is throwing this thing down with surround sound.
Well, my mother is just like me, and she's got the patience of a termite on a hot tin roof. So I did my driver's ed through the high school. Now, I taught our last 2 children. I was their instructor.
So you could do it. And then the drive, did they have to do the driving?
Yeah, they
portion?
still had to go.
See, I didn't have to
But
do
now
that.
they can go to Huntsville. They can schedule that at Huntsville and go do it. It's because it's a commercial motor vehicle. It's got to be done. It's Houston, Bryan, Livingston, Hearn, Amarillo.
Hearn.
There's only a handful of them that do it. And I'm not driving a fire truck to Amarillo. It's not going to happen, people. I'm not doing it.
Only if you pick them up in Wisconsin and drive them back. You know, that's where they make a lot of them up there in
Yeah.
cheese state.
Mm-hmm.
They even send them back with cheese. It's kind of neat.
Oh, isn't it?
No, I'm
That's
just
nice.
kidding. Mason Crosby played for the Packers. He was from Georgetown, and it was neat. Georgetown had ordered, I forget what they call it, but it was one of those really long trucks. It wasn't the ladder, but it was another one. And it was so long that you have a driver up front, and then you have the driver in the back. So when it turns, he can turn it. And it was really cool because they went up to Wisconsin to pick it up. Well, Mason was playing for the Packers then, and he ended up signing the inside of that truck. So that was kind of a big deal. And I think about how communities honor people. We'll end with this here in just a moment. You know, something really cool. Trevonde Sweat was honored with City Council the other night.
I saw that. I did.
And you talk about an impact that Huntsville made on him. Of course, goes to UT and then ends up playing pro ball with the Tennessee Titans. Just a tremendous young. I didn't have a chance to broadcast his games. It was right after I came here that he had graduated. But here's a young man giving back to this community, and he was honored the other day for all of the ways that he is giving back to the youth here in Huntsville. Did you ever get to see him play? Do you remember watching him?
Oh, yeah.
Were you on the blow up crew? What was the crew called? I always forget the name.
Tunnel crew.
The tunnel crew. Yeah.
Tunnel crew.
Were you doing that then? When he was
No,
playing?
I don't think I was on. I think we were just watchers. And we have season tickets, and we always have. And
Yeah, that's cool. It's neat to see that.
now
though.
I will admit I didn't make many games last year, but
Yeah.
life.
It's neat to see it, though, to see young talent, to see talent from here in this community at that level, and then coming back and not forgetting where he came from.
Yeah.
Coming back and saying, I want to invest in the next generation of young
And I
people.
want to say 2 years ago or something, he donated some cleats to
The whole team, right?
Yeah, something like the seniors, or I don't know. I can't remember the details on it, but he did it. So
Yeah, that's cool.
I just donated my time and talents.
Yeah. Well, Billy, appreciate you, man. I know you got to get rolling, and but it's going to be a great day. Are you stopping anywhere on the way to Houston to eat? You got any food plans when you get outside of
but I
Huntsville?
am craving some hot wings right now, but that's a whole different story.
Is that outside of town, a place that you normally would stop at to get the hot wings or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
In College Station.
Okay.
Which ain't on the way.
Yeah. We detour sometimes to hit up the places that we want. So,
Yeah. I love me some wings and more.
yeah, there you go. A few more of them.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for hanging out, man. I know got to get rolling, and we've got some great friends joining us. Rachel Drake, Kim Weiser from CASA coming on here in just a few moments, so we'll have them. They're hanging out with us today. Hey, and a big shout-out, too. We have our studio audience. Nothing better on a Friday when you come into the studio and the Jamie Saucier comes in. What a guy, man.
Hey, we need to get one of them little signs that say applause or whatever so we can turn it on and off.
Yeah. So
You know what I'm talking about, the
Jamie's
little
probably
signs, yeah.
he's probably don't be telling people I'm up there. This is how I try to hide from people. He comes in here to get away for a little bit. So
Yeah, hey, don't ruin that. I might need that.
it's open, man. Well, hey, there's a lot going on. We're going to get our newsletter out a little bit later today, so make sure that you go to HelloHuntsvilleTX.com and sign up for that. Prison City Film Festival's right around the corner. We're going to be interviewing them for a recorded interview that'll play early next week. And Farmers Market going on. We're going to be out at the Farmers Market tomorrow with Hello Huntsville and Spirit Radio, so that'll be a great opportunity to come and support local vendors that are working hard to make a difference. James was saying it's not even much to come out there for if you're a vendor. I think that's neat for people to be involved, and so get out tomorrow. There is a lot going on in the community and a lot to be thankful for here in Huntsville, Texas.
I was going to sell birdhouses there at one time.
Were you really?
Yeah. But I never got around to building enough of them to sell.
All right. Well, hey, that'll wrap it up here on this first segment. For those of you on Spirit Radio, we'll go back to music and programming, but many of you are on the social media feeds right now, so just hang out with us. If not, head over to the Hello Huntsville TX YouTube page or also on Facebook, as we will have Kim Weiser, Rachel Drake joining us to talk about the great things happening at CASA. We'll take a break. For those of you on the radio, we'll, again, going back to music, but stay with us on social media as we continue. It's your show. This is Good Morning Huntsville here on a very, very faithful Friday. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us. See you, Billy. Thanks, man.
See ya. I'm Billy Cauthen, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We are not a daycare. We are a child care center focused on the growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori Schools. Education you can trust.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted, family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas. Since 2010, the Oak Ridge Disciple House has helped men break free from addiction, not with quick fixes, but lasting change through Jesus Christ. They've celebrated 167 graduates at Oak Ridge and 138 more at Interfaith with an 80% success rate. That's compared to just 5% in most secular programs. The fact is, Jesus works. And now, celebrating 15 years, they're building their third house in Tennessee and just launched a women's program, Restoration Ranch in Texas. It's all for God's glory. And here's the heart of it. They never turn anyone away for lack of money. In fact, 95% of families receive scholarships. As one person put it, don't talk about it, be about it. Every penny counts. Donate today at oakridgedisciplehouse.com and help change a life forever. The Oak Ridge Disciple House. Online at oakridgedisciplehouse.com. Real recovery, real hope. Hey friend, Rob Hipp here for Elliott's Jewelers. The new year is here, and what a better way to start out the new year than celebrating the moments that matter the most. And you can do that with Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville. Whether it's an engagement, an anniversary, a birthday, or maybe just a fresh start, Elliott hand selects every diamond, and he creates meaningful pieces that are designed just for you. There's no crowded showroom, no pressure, just personal attention and jewelry that tells your story. So again, start the new year with something timeless. It's Elliott's Jewelers here in Huntsville by appointment only. Book online at elliotsjewelers.com.
Are you ready for a better way to bank? Join Walker County Federal Credit Union today. As a member, you'll enjoy low-cost loans, no annual fees, and easy online access. We're not just a credit union. We're a community dedicated to your financial success. Experience friendly service tailored for just you. Why wait? Join us online at walkercountyfcu.com or drop by our location at 1802 Normal Park Drive, Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
Faith has a new frequency. The Spirit of Huntsville. KHSPLP, Huntsville, Texas. Spirit 94.3.
All right, everybody, welcome back as we continue on. Hey, I want to encourage you, pay the $100 a month for the behind the scenes here on Good Morning Hunt. We still haven't started that. We've been talking about it for, I don't know, since we started the show. There's always great discussions that go on in the background. Nothing bad, just funny stuff about music and, I don't know, just fun. Good fun.
Just little shenanigans.
Just shenanigans.
Shenanigans.
We want to welcome in two lovely ladies who it's always a privilege to have on our program here. None other than because there's no other, Rachel Drake and the Kimberly Weiser. Welcome in. Good to see you guys today.
Yeah, good to be here.
Welcome in.
It's been a while.
CASA in the house.
Yeah.
You say like CASA in the CASA.
That works.
It works. So how are y'all doing? I'll start with Rachel this morning. Rachel, how's it going? What have you been up to?
It's good. It's been busy. We've been, just focusing a lot on our cases and making sure that our advocates are supported. It's been what we call the quiet season, at least publicly. Like the work we're doing never really changes. And so we've just had the extra time to focus on that, and that's been nice to not, have to shift focus to places. And so we've been really loving on our advocates a little extra. We just hosted our volunteer appreciation event, so that was fun.
That's great. Well, Kim, the executive director, is that right?
Executive director, yeah.
Executive director. Yeah, I was like, wait a minute. Well, it's kind of everything, right? That's all encompassing.
Yes, I am the catch-all for all the things that are not defined by anyone else's job description. It's Kim's job.
They call that in the email, like in the IT email world, we used to call that, and like you would have a black hole email address, and that was where everything that bounced back would fall into.
I love that. Yeah, that's me.
So you're the no reply at whatever.com email.
Quite literally, yes.
Well, Kim, what's been going on? It's good to see you. Welcome in, and welcome to the studio. I'm so glad y'all are here. We brought back the table. We had those comfortable kind of loungy chairs, but now we're like back to, hey, let's have a round table discussion.
I like it.
Yeah,
It's comfortable.
Well, good to see you. How's everything going, Kim?
It's been good. Like Rachel said, the beginning of the year is sort of our quiet season when it comes to the community. We don't do any public fundraising or events really from January until the end of April. And so it's nice to kind of have a couple of months to focus on, our internal business and, getting Valentine's out to our kiddos and just supporting our advocates. We had some staff transitions happening. And so I'm in the depths of interviewing right now for a position that we have open. And
Cool.
We had Cauthen James come back as our advocate supervisor. And so just sort of the transitions that come along with staff changes we've kind of taken this month to move into these new roles and new patterns. But it's been really good. We posted on our Facebook account that Kat was back on staff with us, and a lot of our advocates commented, welcome home. It's so glad to have you. And honestly, it feels like that it just feels like home again. Like it's so good to have her back on our team, and our advocates loved her and still love her. And so we're just in a really good rhythm right now. We're really embracing, the Chinese New Year that started this week.
Feels like it's every year. Every day is a new year.
Yeah. And so, any opportunity we have to celebrate a new year, we're all for it.
Love it, yeah.
We're just saying that this is going to be our year that started February 17th.
Love it.
Yes.
All right, yeah. And it's y'all's year, February 20th now, today.
Yeah.
Well, again, CASA with us today, court-appointed special advocates of Walker, San Jacinto, and Trinity counties. You guys have been such tremendous friends of this community, of this program. Anytime that y'all have an opportunity, we try to have y'all on once a month. I always love to catch up and hear about the good things happening at CASA. Many people know the organization, many don't. There's a lot of new folks that are moving to the community, but CASA helps children who are the most vulnerable, who need help in the court system. And you guys are providing that voice. And I'm telling you, the stories that come out of CASA will bring you tremendous joy, as all of y'all know, but they'll also bring you tremendous tears in some cases.
That's true.
But as you go through the process and you look back on the great work that CASA has done over the years, you can see the impact that it's made on these children's lives. And now some of these children are growing up and they're coming back to you guys, right, Rachel?
Yeah.
You get to talk to them and
I
hear
do.
from them.
One of my past kids, actually a few months ago, reached out to say, I'm applying for colleges. Will you write me a letter of recommendation? And then one of our advocates, or she's our board member now, but when she was an advocate, her adult child reached out to just say, hey, I love you, thinking about you today. And so like, just we're in their lives for, or advocates are in their lives for a season. They really are there throughout them, and they know that they can call and check on them, whether it's, hey, my car broke down and I really don't know what I'm supposed to do about it, to, just, hey, I need a letter of recommendation, or I just wanted to say hi because I haven't talked to you in a while, and it's really special to walk through the stages of life after their case closes with them.
Yeah, that board member that Rachel mentioned, she was an advocate for that child like 15 years ago.
Yes.
The child's in her 30s now. I mean,
Wow.
it's no longer a child.
That's crazy.
Clearly, but 15 years later, still said, was just thinking of you today. Just wanted to say hi and I love you. So sweet.
I think about the difference that the advocates make. I know we're kind of highlighting some advocates today and some great things happening with a lot of the advocates who play such a vital role, kind of the lifeblood, if you will, of the organization, helping these families and these children. Something the Lord put on my heart, Kim and Rachel, I wanted to share with y'all because it's the word, the mission. And it's really weird. I just woke up one morning thinking about this because, as we get older, we have all these dreams and things we want to do, and I'm not downplaying that. But at some point, there's like this aha moment of like, okay, now what is the mission? And I'm kind of at that stage of life. And I was talking, and I know this sound, you're like, where are you going with this, Rob? It was kind of weird. I was talking to a young broadcaster the other day, and like, I remember aspiring to be this broadcaster, in the NFL or the NBA. And the Lord blessed me with an opportunity to do stuff here and to go up north and then come back. And it was like this aha moment for me. This was like 3 weeks ago. I was talking to a young person at a game at New Waverly. And he's like, man, I really want to do this. And I was like, I think my time has come and gone. Not in a negative way, but I was at peace with that. And I was like, I'm at peace that if there's never another opportunity again to call a sport at the college level, I'm okay with that. And then the Lord put this burden on my heart of like, what's the mission in your life now? And I realized the mission, as a Christian, we can all say, I mean, obviously it's to serve Christ, but it becomes real whenever all of a sudden that hits you. And I think a lot about CASA and the organization and the advocates and the mission that they have, and what a huge responsibility, but a huge mission that these advocates have. Maybe kind of piggyback on that, Kim, if you feel like kind of where I was going with that, because I'm at that age and I feel like your advocates, they know the mission of what they have to do. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So we talk in our CASA 101 sessions really just about what it means to be an advocate, and we don't sugarcoat anything. The mission of a CASA is really to be a strong, stable presence in kids' lives for a quite lengthy period of time. And our advocates come in knowing their job and taking their job very seriously. I feel like we say it 20 times before they take their first case, like, are you in this for real? Are you in it for the long haul? Are you going to be there for this kid? No turning back. Like, you are going to show up for them month after month after month after month. And we have the most amazing advocates that take that job so seriously. Advocates that are walking kids through incredibly hard seasons of their life. Kids that are going into hospitalizations or juvenile detention centers or just bad foster homes, and they need someone to be a voice to say, help me see a change because I need backup here. And we have advocates. I mean, we could tell story after story after story of our advocates that just keep showing up because they know so much that their job is to be that constant. Like, not just to show up for that child a few times, to show up for them in court, but that child knows that they've got someone in their corner, whether the child can see them or not, that they're advocating for them in court. They're advocating for that child in the classroom with their teachers and school counselors. They're checking in with their doctors, their attorneys. People are very familiar that the role of the CASA is about the child, and people know that CASAs visit the child. But people are not really familiar with all the other work that our CASAs are doing with the attorneys and caseworkers and teachers and counselors and just everybody involved in that child's life. And our advocates, they love what they do. They love the kids they serve. And they take it seriously. They know that they're changing the trajectory of a child's life, and that the work that they put in this little maybe 2-year gap of their life is going to be something that these kids think about 15 years down the road.
I think about those advocates, and Rachel, I'm not sure if you can answer this or not. Maybe so. If not, maybe Kim can. But I think about an advocate in that first case. Is there some anxiety? Is there some fear sometimes? I know that they're very well trained, but what is some of the feedback maybe you've heard from it? Because I want people that are listening and watching this morning to know that this isn't an easy job.
Yeah.
It is a calling. It is a mission to be an advocate. What's some of the feedback maybe you've received, from some advocates going into that first court appearance?
Lots of nerves that we assure them throughout the process, like, you are not in this alone. Like, we take our role as staff, and our supervisors take their role to support you extremely serious. Like, you cannot ask too many questions. Like, we walk through them and say, like, your first step is to contact your supervisor. Once you get your case, walk through, make a plan. Who do I contact? What are the plans? Schedule your visit. We're going to do your court report together. We'll sit down and go over it. I'm going to meet you outside the courtroom. We're going to walk in together. We're going to go up to the bench when we talk to the judge together. That there is a lot of teamwork and support. Especially when they're on their first trial at the end of the case, if we're not going for unification, you're having to share some hard testimony about why these children cannot go home. And that just layers the nerves of, and by that point they've been in court several times, kind of getting used to testifying, but there's just the word trial, it just brings anxiety, and it is, the make or break moment for these kids. And so there is that extra pressure on them, but we sit down and we talk with them and we trial prep with them. And there's never a question that in all my time has been asked at a trial or at a hearing that our CASAs don't know. There's been times where other people in the room don't know, or they forget how old the kid is, or the grade level the kid is, or what their medical issues are, but our CASAs know them, and they know them very well. They know all their history, know their details. I've seen time after time that our CASA's testimony is directly resulting in the ruling that the judge gives. That our judges have a lot of respect for our CASAs. They know, and they can tell the way they testify, the hours and the work and the commitment that they're putting in, not only just with the kids, but with parents, when they can get up there and say, like, yeah, I went and found this mom, and we had lunch, and, at the start of the case, she was homeless and struggling with addiction. And, we've had parents turn and hug their CASA and say, if she had not given up on me, I wouldn't be here today. And so I think that's another piece that people get lost. And I kind of went off on a little bit of a tangent.
That's good.
But the short story is, yes, they're nervous, and we walk them through that with a lot of support. But honestly, there's nerves because whether it's your first case or your fifth case, or it's a whole new family, it's a whole new ball game, and every family's different. I mean, even sometimes after 8 years, still get nervous making my first phone call, because you just never know your reaction you're going to get on the other line. So,
I don't know a whole lot about legal stuff other than what I see on TV, which you always take all that with a grain of salt.
Yes,
so
definitely.
I want to ask this question because I'm picturing things as you're talking about these court cases, and I know we're highlighting advocates today, but this is about them and kind of what they go through. Maybe somebody out there is interested in being an advocate, so as they hear this, they're going to get a better understanding of. I've never really asked y'all like how that proceeding kind of looks. Is this typically, obviously, I mean, is it just a judge? Is there ever like I don't know if I'm saying this right, but like, are there defendants in these cases, or is it typically just you and the judge? Is that okay to answer that?
Yeah, we can answer that. So it's not like you see on TV or Law and Order. It's not quite so sterile, I guess, and intense. That it's a little bit more relaxed of a court setting, although it's very serious. It's not a relaxed feeling, but we're in this courtroom, there's everybody in the pews from all the cases on the docket. Parents, volunteers, caregivers, attorneys are up front going from person to person, making sure they've got their stuff together and ready for court. And when she calls, the judge is at the bench, and she'll call her first case. And so she'll call the case, the advocate and the supervisor on that case will go up. The attorney for the child is there. Each parent has their own attorney. The CPS caseworker is there. Usually their supervisor is there, and then their attorney for the state is there. And so then we go around, announce who we are, and start talking about how things are going. The the state starts, and the caseworker will share like how mom and dad are doing, how good they're doing, how their struggles are. We'll talk about the child or children, how they're doing, if they need help with anything, and if and when the child can go home or what the plan is. I mean, that's talked about every single time. And they go to court roughly every 3 months, give or take.
So this isn't kind of like a get on the stand and give testimony back and forth type of those kind
Not
of court
typically.
cases. Okay.
Yeah, it's sort of, I mean, all the parties that Rachel mentioned are all gathered sort of in a semicircle
Yes.
together in front of the judge.
And it seems like they're all obviously wanting to benefit what's best for the child, correct, in most cases.
Right. I mean, ultimately, that's the
That's
goal,
the goal,
in any
yeah.
case.
Yeah. Okay. I always wondered about that because you see all this stuff on TV and I'm like, do you, and that may bring a little bit of peace to somebody who's been nervous about, well, I want to be an advocate, but I don't want to get up there and like get on the stand and have to debate this kind of stuff or, this kind of things. And it sounds like that's not as intense as what some people may think.
The
like
attorneys
me, I
are
think
very respectful in the way they question their CASAs, and really everyone in the courtroom. It's everyone in all of our counties has a very good understanding of like, I know I'm here to do this job and I represent this mom, but I'm not going to attack you in questioning to defend her just because I can. That there is a level of respect and just professionalism, which is great. Yeah, they only really go into like the formal setting whenever there's a trial, and so.
That's the word I was looking for. This isn't a trial. So
Right, yes.
that's
Right.
what I was looking. Yeah, that's what I was kind of like, come on, Rob, think of the word. So,
okay.
Well, this is important because the advocates, again, is such a vital role. And for anyone that's interested, CASA provides all the training as well. You're not just going to be thrown into this and not know what to do. There's extensive training. And through that extensive training, these advocates work hard. They develop relationships. And many of them, all of them, at some level are recognized. But you guys get to especially recognize a couple of them every year, quite a few of them actually. But your Advocate of the Year and your Volunteer of the Year just announced here very recently.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
so pretty cool.
Every year we award Advocate of the Year. Volunteer of the Year is actually a new award. So this is only the second year that we've awarded Volunteer of the Year. And that's really because our non-advocate volunteers, so people that are serving as board members, companions, event volunteers, committee volunteers, I mean, in the last couple of years have just really shown through, and we felt like we could not give awards to our advocates and recognize the important work they do without recognizing the important work of all of our other volunteers. But we were able to give our Volunteer of the Year award and our Advocate of the Year at an event we hosted last week. I'll talk about Volunteer of the Year because Rachel just talks about our advocates. I mean, she knows their cases and their stories so well. But like I said, our Volunteer of the Year is really our non-advocate volunteers. There were a couple of advocates sprinkled into the nominations this year. But Melanie Oates actually was our Volunteer of the Year this year, which Melanie, she is just a standout, that she is quite literally there for every moment she can possibly be there for. Her answer is never no. It is
Never.
like, if we need her for 2 hours, she'll say, well, I can come for about 17 minutes of my lunch break. And
Quite
she's
literally.
not gonna tell us no, but she will squeeze us in every possible way she can. She was involved in every CASA event last year. She actually helped host our volunteer appreciation event last year and did a lot of the work behind the scenes. She just shows up for everything all the time, anywhere she can squeeze in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 2 hours. She's going to do that. She was our Volunteer of the Year, but she was among some really amazing nominees who we could also, go into. Lisa Branch also was involved in nearly every CASA event last year. Jill Pagels serves on our board, and she's been nominated Volunteer of the Year the past couple of years. Who else was there? Nancy Ormsby, Sue Slater, and Leanne Kowalczyk, I think, were our 6 nominees. And
I love that, yeah.
they're all just people, I mean, you don't go 30 days without seeing them. Ever. Like, they are in
barely
the
go 2
office
weeks.
for something. And they're just a really amazing group of volunteers. So we're grateful for everyone who serves CASA. And, we talk about in our CASA 101 that advocacy is not for everybody. Not everybody can stand into this role that we're talking about for the kids. Not everyone's willing to go to court. Not everyone's willing to drive across the state to go see kids once a month. But there is a place for everybody at CASA. And if you have even 30 minutes a month to give, and you want your job to be filing papers or selling raffle tickets at our bingo event or whatever it may be, like, we love our volunteers, whether advocates or not, and we want to find a place for anyone to serve with our mission.
Well, on the advocate side, Leslie Knappen. Did I say that correctly?
You did. Good job.
So she is your advocate of the year. Maybe highlight Leslie and some of the others that were nominated, Rachel.
Oh, I mean, she is incredible. So she's been on her case for a few years now. And we always say that, the CASA is the one person, that they are their person, that they're the one who stands in that gap and makes sure nothing falls through. And, I mean, that is feels like such an understatement to say about Leslie. She has a child. She has a teen boy, and he unfortunately doesn't have any family, anybody else in his life. And so she is his family. And so whenever RTCs or when he got in trouble with juvenile justice, she is at every court hearing. She is making sure that he has money in his commissary account, making sure that he gets his glasses while he's in juvenile detention, because no one else seemed to do it. Just meeting basic needs, but then meeting the emotional needs, that they would always have these family days where kids could invite their parents back or their aunt or whoever there's their person. Leslie was his, and she never missed one. Wow. And she not only shows up in all those other ways, she talks to him on the phone weekly. She sees him minimum twice a month wherever he's been, and he's been in quite a few places across Texas, multiple hours one way a lot of times. And a lot of times she's going to see him 3 times because she knows he needs someone there consistently. And she's walking him through a lot of hard journeys. And I mean, we went through and highlighted a couple of different areas, and not only was she our advocate of the year, but she was the advocate who drove the most miles, over 4,000 miles in the year. And so, I mean, it's just the level of dedication and the level of time just physically driving from place to place, on top of emails, documentation, showing up at court, talking to probation officers, talking to teachers, advocating for him in ARDS. I mean, it's incredible what commitment she has to him, and it's really special.
It is. A lot of people are involved, Kim, and I know you as the executive director are so proud of everyone, not just your staff, but those in the community. This community steps up in a big way for so many nonprofits, and especially CASA.
Yeah.
And I think it's important when you think about these children who need a voice. CASA is providing that voice in a time of need. We're never going to stop talking about it ever, because there's always going to be children out there. And as a parent, everything hits different. Everything hits different when you're a parent. And whenever you were talking about, Kim, earlier about, if you better be 100% in. Mm-hmm. And I've learned as a dad, if I make a promise to my little girl who's 4 now, she remembers.
Yes.
And and I better not let her down.
For sure.
And I told her one day, this is a little corny story, but I said, it may seem minuscule to adults, but to children. And I said, Braylon, tomorrow morning, if you get up and get ready, we're going to go get the little donuts. We get the little Hostess donuts because the Smiley's does not sell the big ones. And I said, Daddy can't go all the way across town and then all the way back for the big ones. So we just have to get the little ones. Mm-hmm. And so she loves those little Hostess donuts there at Smiley's. I always get them for, a few times a week. And we were running a little bit behind. And I was like, we really don't have time to get the donuts today. And I promised her last night. So sometimes as a parent, you're like, yeah, maybe she'll forget. No.
She did not.
There's that turning lane off of Veterans Memorial to go to that, the turning lane. She looked, and I'm in the right lane, straight arrow. There's the left arrow.
She knows.
It's like 7:03. I'm like, I got to get up to the studio, but I got to drop the children off at Tomorrow's Promise over at the academy. And so she looks over and she goes, Daddy.
You're in the wrong lane.
She called you out.
She knew. She goes, donuts. And then she goes, and I was like, okay. And I went, and she goes, you promised.
Mm-hmm. People do not give kids, especially little kids, enough credit.
They know.
They know so much just because they may not verbalize it even. And so that's what our advocates realize, and they make sure if I say I'm going to come see you, or if I'm going to call you, that I'm going to do it.
That's why I brought that up, because these advocates are, let's just be honest, I mean, they step into a role almost like a parent for these children in a time when they need that. And no child wants to be left behind. No child wants to be forgotten. And no child especially wants to have a promise broken to them. Mm-hmm. CASA is delivering on those promises time and time again. And I'm sure every once in a while something happens like anything. But I can say with certainty, knowing y'all and knowing the organization, that's not true. 99.9% of the time, you guys are doing exactly what needs to be done. And that speaks volumes of y'all's organizations. I want folks this morning to really hear this message from Kim and Rachel. If you've ever thought about being an advocate, the time is now. Don't wait. We always say in the ministry, if you've been thinking about having a relationship with the Lord, don't wait. That's the number one most important thing. But I'll say the same thing. If you're thinking about being an advocate, don't wait another day. Get a hold of CASA. Go to casaofwalkercounty.org for more information on how to get plugged in. Kim, Rachel, thank y'all for being here. Rachel, I want Kim to have the final comment today. But Rachel, any final comments from you before we go? Anything else y'all wanted to highlight?
I guess two little things. That one, that we just, if there's any advocates listening, that we just need you to know how much we love you, all of our volunteers. I mean, the volunteers who aren't advocates, our advocates couldn't do the work that they do if it wasn't for the volunteers in the background, selling raffle tickets, wrapping presents for parade floats, doing all the things. But also, when you were talking, you said, like, if you want to be an advocate, don't wait. Honestly, ironically, that's one of the things our advocates, once they get down to our side, they're like, oh, I shouldn't have waited. I shouldn't have waited till retirement. I shouldn't have done this. I wish I had done it sooner. And we asked them, like, what would you tell someone who's thinking about it? Do it now. That's always their first word. And so it was funny that you said it that way.
There are a couple of CASA 101s coming up in March the 3rd and March the 19th. You can go to their website and sign up for those. And events right around the corner. The 3rd annual All Things Kids Expo is going to take place. I know we'll have y'all on many more times before that, but that's coming up April the 25th, so mark your calendars. The Mudbugs and Mulligan's Crawfish Boil and Golf Classic, all these really fun events. And Food Truck Fridays, I assume, still happening as well. So I know earlier you'd said things kind of ramped down, but that is still happening during these off months too. So.
Yep, always.
Well, Kim, any final comments? Thank you for hanging out with us today. We appreciate you.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate what you said, that, I mean, the time is now. We're actually sort of in a weird season at CASA where we don't need to train advocates as often, but we do have a training coming up in May. And so usually years ago, there was always a time that you could jump in, but that's just not the case anymore. And so if people are considering becoming an advocate, we hope they come to CASA 101 and join us. But we also want everyone in the community to know that every way that people support CASA supports all the things that we talked about, that whether it's as a volunteer or as a donor or buying raffle tickets at an event, that all of those things go toward making sure that we can help support Leslie traveling over 4,000 miles in a year, and making sure that we can provide our training to all of our new advocates for free, and making sure we have a supervisor standing next to them in every single court hearing so that they feel confident and supported. So everything we talked about today is what all of our donors and our volunteers are supporting. And so we just thank the community for being so gracious and giving and generous to our program. And like I said before, if there is a place that people feel called to be in CASA, whether it's an advocate or in a different role, we would love to help find that place for them.
Get plugged in and be a part of what CASA is doing. Again, casaofwalkercounty.org is where you need to be. So what's the rest of the day look like for y'all?
I have a training.
I have a statewide meeting with other executive directors. I've got a couple interviews for that position I talked about before, a meeting with Rachel so we can start planning some things for April and May.
Do y'all ever have meetings to have meetings?
Yes. Kind of.
To coordinate all the meetings that we have coming up. Yeah.
Guys, we got to have a meeting to have the meeting of meetings. That's coming up next week for the meeting.
Usually Fridays are pretty quiet, and it's our catch up on all the things we missed during the weekday, but that is not today. We've got lots on the calendar today.
We realized here at first, because I'm on staff here too, is our outreach, and we realized all of a sudden we're like, do you guys realize we're having meetings to have meetings? So we kind of found a way to simplify that a little bit to where our main meeting is if it doesn't affect 80% of us, then we don't talk about it. And so we're on this new thing now, and it's kind of weird. It's cool though. It's worked really well. One other thing I wanted to say, it's good to have Cat back. I said earlier there's a children's song. The Cat came back the very next day. So look that up. Y'all are missing one though. That boy, it would make the family complete.
Amen.
Janet, come on back wherever you are.
So, yeah, we miss her too.
Yeah. So when I think of CASA, it's so funny how you think of people and you think of organizations and people that come to mind that aren't even part of organizations anymore, but they made an impact. And every time I think of CASA, every time I see y'all's logo,
Yes.
I think of y'all, obviously. I think of Laura. I think of all what y'all do. But I always see Janet's face.
Yes, Janet, if given the opportunity, probably would have gotten CASA tattooed across her forehead. I mean, like, she loved her job. She was so good to our program. We miss her so much.
Well, thank y'all again. Appreciate it. Y'all are a friend of this program. Please come back anytime. I know we have y'all on once a month, but you're always welcome. Come hang out with us. And thank you for helping to promote the good, especially with our children here in Walker County. Appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, well, that'll wrap it up with our friends from CASA, Kim and Rachel. We'll take a brief break. I'll be back in a moment to close it up on a Faithful Friday. We couldn't have friends like CASA if it wasn't for the generous support of our foundation support, such as Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We appreciate all that they do here in the community, and also Elliott's Jewelers. We'll take a break. I'll wrap it up when we come back. This is Good Morning Huntsville. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a moment.
I'm Billy Cauthen, manager of Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. We know times of loss are tough, and you need a place to feel comfortable and cared for. At Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, we pride ourselves on being with you during those really tough days. You can rest assured that we will be on your side and by your side every step of the way. Thank you for your trust. Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, supporting families every day, every step.
Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools believe in creating spaces where children can learn, grow, and use their imaginations. At any Tomorrow's Promise location, children enjoy the largest playgrounds in town. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori is a fun school where every child learns at their own pace, and mastery of a concept is expected before moving on to the next concept. At Tomorrow's Promise, every child is respected, loved, and nurtured for the unique individual that they are.
Tomorrow's Promise Academy on Veterans Memorial now open. Visit tomorrowspromise.info for more information. Education you can trust.
Are you ready for a better way to bank? Join Walker County Federal Credit Union today. As a member, you'll enjoy low-cost loans, no annual fees, and easy online access. We're not just a credit union. We're a community dedicated to your financial success. Experience friendly service tailored for just you. Why wait? Join us online at walkercountyfcu.com or drop by our location at 1802 Normal Park Drive, Walker County Federal Credit Union, member NCUA.
At Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools, we're not just a place where children pass the time. We are not a daycare. We are a child care center focused on the growth, learning, and discovery. Every day, children engage in meaningful activities that build confidence, independence, and a love for learning. From reading and math to social and practical life skills, our students are active participants in their development. Ready to give your child something more? Visit tomorrowspromise.info and discover what makes our school different. Tomorrow's Promise Montessori schools. Education you can trust.
This is Guardian Defense in Huntsville, Texas, a trusted family-owned and operated gun store and range in the heart of East Texas. Guardian Defense is your one-stop destination for Texas LTC, NRA basic pistol and rifle courses, pistol refresher training, as well as a wide selection of quality firearms and ammunition. At Guardian Defense, empowerment is within reach through their Texas DPS-approved license to carry classes. Certified instructors will guide you through every facet of firearm safety, conflict resolution, and the pertinent legal aspects. Book now to become proficient and responsible in handling a firearm with complete confidence. For the eager learners, the fundamentals of pistol and rifle usage await discovery in their comprehensive 8-hour NRA basic courses. You're invited to connect with Guardian Defense on Facebook and Instagram, or give them a call at 936-293-0364. You can also visit them online at guardiandefensellc.com. Guardian Defense, your reliable partner in mastering firearm safety and acquiring quality firearms in the heart of Texas.
Faith has a new frequency. The Spirit of Huntsville. KHSP-LP, Huntsville, Texas. Spirit 94.3.
Welcome back, friends. We wrap up here in a few moments. Time now 8:37 on a Good Morning Huntsville. Another episode of the show here brought to you by Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. Go get your pre-planning done. We talk about it every week. Billy was here earlier. He had to jet down to Houston today, and it was his day off, but he still came in. I appreciate Billy so much. Greg Smith, the whole crew over there at Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home, they're always on standby, standing for your family when you need them most. And they truly are compassionate. They truly care about what they do, and that makes a difference when it comes to finding somebody to help you during what is probably the most difficult season you've ever been through. Go with a family that will take care of you and your family at Sam Houston Memorial Funeral Home. They have been here for decades serving this great county. It is a Faithful Friday, and I was trying to think of a few things this morning, and I had kind of a monologue that I wanted to start with, but I think I'm going to end. I don't know if you call it a monologue at the end, but I want to end with something today. And listen to this. It may take a little bit. I was working on this over last night. I got up really early this morning, too. For some reason, I got up at 4 o'clock this morning, never went back to sleep. And it was just one of those mornings. You know, I think sometimes the Lord wakes us up and wants us to meditate and focus on Him every morning, but to really, some mornings are just different. This morning was different. I don't say it in a negative way. But it is a Faithful Friday, and as we head into the weekend, I know we go really fast on this show, but sometimes I want to slow it down just for a minute and speak to the heart of everyone here in this community and throughout our county. And you know, some things that I was thinking about Huntsville that I love about this town, and I get to travel, not as much as I used to when I was broadcasting sports, but I get to travel and see things still. This community isn't flashy. It's far from it. We're not too loud. I don't think we're too loud. Unless it's a Bearcat football game, it gets a little loud, or a Huntsville Hornet football game, or you're inside Johnson Coliseum, it can get a little bit loud. But this community isn't flashy. It's not loud. But I think about this in our 5 years that we've been here, minus 8 months where we took a quick break, that this community is steady. We're steady in our faith. We're steady in the growth. We're steady in friendships. We're steady in what we do here in Huntsville. And you know what I think, friends? The most important thing that I love about this community is that we're faithful. This is a community of faith. You know, as you drive up the road and you go to Trinity, Texas, what does the sign say? It says Trinity, a city of prayer. And I believe that for Trinity. I believe Huntsville is a city of faith. We are so blessed to live here in East Texas to where we can celebrate our faith in Jesus Christ. Sam Houston State Universities, you see it all the time as students are grinding through long nights studying. We had Michelle Cardenas that helped us out for a couple of semesters, a LEAP ambassador. Those students are chasing a degree that nobody else may fully understand what they're going to school for, but God placed that vision and that dream in those students' hearts. We see it in our prison units here throughout this area, men and women, not just incarcerated, but I'm talking about the TDCJ employees that show up to work in very tough environments. And they say, you know, we're still going to choose integrity in our job. We're going to do what we need to do because we're called to do this. That's not an easy job. And I always want to shout out to our TDC employees and let them know if you see them, you'll see a lot of them. You see them in the gray coats or the gray shirts and the gray pants, the slate pants, slate shirts. When you see them at HEB, you tell those people how much you appreciate them. Because that is a tough, tough job. You see the faith in our community downtown with small business owners. We're seeing more and more popping up downtown now. Those small business owners are unlocking their doors. They're getting ready to start the day every morning, and they're hoping that today is the day that maybe things turn around just a little bit more. I think all of us need things to turn around just a little bit more. I think you see it in moms and dads. I see it when I drop off my children at school at Tomorrow's Promise. There's parents all over town picking their kids up, taking them places, taking them to football games, to practices. They're taking them to dance recitals. They're taking them all over the community. They're taking them to the American Flip Factory to do their gymnastics, which is a funny story because Kristen Duck and her husband, they do such a great job over there with Flip Factory. But it was funny. My daughter was 2 months into gymnastics, and in the middle of a session, she just came over to me and said, "Daddy, I'm done." I said, "What do you mean you're done?" She says, "I'm done, Daddy. I don't want to do this anymore." And I said, are you sure? Because you committed to this. She goes, I'm done, Daddy. And that was it. She nothing with Kristen. She just was done. She didn't want to do it anymore. That's just how it goes sometimes. There's faithfulness all around this community. But I want to remind you of something this morning that maybe you've overlooked. Did you know that God honors faithfulness? We're told in Lamentations 3:22 this, through the Lord's mercies we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. Did you hear that this morning? His compassions fail not. They are new every single morning. Great is your faithfulness. Did you catch that? New every single morning. And that means whatever happened way back on Monday. Monday seemed like it was so long ago already, and here we are on Friday. But what happened on Monday does not define today here on this faithful Friday. And what mistakes maybe you've made this week, that doesn't cancel out God's mercy in your life. And whatever setback maybe that happened to you this week does not stop his plan for your life. Every sunrise over our community, and there are some beautiful sunrises. As I come in from Elkins Lake, the fog was out this morning, and some mornings it's beautiful to see the sun rising over the fog that lifts up off the water. But every sunrise over our county, every morning is a reminder that God gave you, each of us, another day. Psalm 37:3 reads this, trust in the Lord and do good, dwell in the land, and feed on his what? On his faithfulness. Feed on his faithfulness. Don't feed on fear. Don't feed on social media drama, because, man, there's a lot of that going on. Don't feed on frustration. Don't feed on the setback. Don't feed on the things that are reminding you of something that's bringing you back down. Don't feed on those things. But friends, think back to this, that God brought you through that job scare. Maybe there was a time that you felt threatened at work and you thought, maybe this is it. Maybe I'm losing my job. God brought you through that diagnosis. Maybe there was an illness in your life that you thought this was it. I'm reminded of Matt Chandler. He's a very well-known preacher up in the North Texas area. Matt, years ago, took over a church. That church has grown tremendously, but Matt was diagnosed with a very severe brain tumor. And I'll never forget, in the midst of this huge sanctuary, he did a video by himself. And he said that God can, he will, but even if he doesn't, I'm still going to be in faith. And he was talking about healing. Well, God did heal him on this earth. Matt's still preaching to this day. But think about that this morning. God can, he will, but even if he doesn't, you're still going to have faith. He brought you through the financial stress. That's a big one for all of us, many of us going through financial difficulties. He brought you through family conflict. And guess what, friend? If you're hearing my voice, you're still here this morning. Listen to me this morning, Huntsville. This is important. If God carried you through that season, he will carry you through this one. Whatever that season may be, there's a lot of heartbreak in the seasons. I'm not downplaying what any of us, any of you, any of what I'm going through, what our family, what you're going, I'm not downplaying that. But if God brought you through previous adversities, guess what? The same truth holds today, that he's going to bring you through this adversity, through this heartbreak, through this pain. Galatians 6:9 says this, and let us not grow weary while doing good, for in due season we shall reap if we do